Welcome. I'm Richard Ridgway, and today I'm going to talk to you about leadership in the early childhood teaching context, the adoption of leadership styles that are appropriate for early childhood teaching, the roles and responsibilities of a leader, and the importance of relationships in leadership. I'll do this by using an artifact to demonstrate leadership metaphors. The artifact that I've chosen to use is my lemon tree. I would like to start by discussing what leadership is. Goffin reports that leadership is the process of motivating and influencing people to work in collaboration in order to achieve a common goal. While Thornton, Waynesboro, Clarking Phillips, Aikins, and Tomei go on to report the characteristics of a leader are visionary, courageous, ethical, and committed. Gonzalez reports that leadership in the early childhood context is essential due to policy shifts regarding access to services, accountability in providing quality educational programs, and to increase service consistency. This is also reflected in the National Quality Standards. Standard 7, Leadership and Service Management, focuses on quality leadership in order to build and continually improve on professional learning environments and to develop positive organisational culture, as well as establishing effective managerial systems. Rod discusses that leadership styles sit along the continuum from autocratic or directive leadership types onto more democratic or consultative approaches, and then continue along the spectrum to more laissez-faire styles. She then goes on to articulate 6 specific leadership style types. The 6 leadership styles Rod details are visionary, which is authoritative in nature, with clear direction and goals; coaching, which is nurturing and encompasses people's strengths; affiliative, which is based on relationships and empathy; democratic, which is based on collaboration and values input; pace setting, which challenges people to meet targets; and commanding, which is coercive in nature. Mooch, Aubrey, Harris and Briggs suggest that business leadership styles do not work well in early childhood centres due to the context of the work being undertaken and the value placed on collaborative learning. They suggest that leadership styles which also value collaboration are more suitable for the early childhood teaching context. Taking this into consideration, and as Thornton, Waynesboro, Clarking Phillips, Aikins and Tomei state, early childhood leadership also needs to encompass intimacy, flexibility, diversity, and individualisation. The transformational leadership style is a style which encapsulates all of those elements and works well in the early childhood setting. Gonzalez describes transformational leadership as a process in which a leader engages with others to develop a connection that raises motivation and morale by identifying change, creating a vision, and inspiring others to meet that vision. This is achieved by the leader being attentive to staff's needs and using intrinsic motivation to assist staff to maximise their potential. She goes on to describe the 4 practices which underpin this leadership style, which include modelling the way, where leaders clearly define their philosophy and values through their promises and commitments to others; inspiring a shared vision, where leaders can envision a positive future and have an idea of how to create it and can communicate this effectively with others; enabling others to act, which values teamwork, where leaders encourage and foster collaboration and build trust in others; and encouraging the heart, which is where the leader recognises others' contributions and provides rewards for their accomplishments. I will now explain how my lemon here relates to leadership in the early childhood educational context. This is my lemon tree. I planted it when we first moved to our house about 8 years ago. It was just a small plant then, and it needed support to get going. However, because we had just moved in, I had a lot of other things to get done, which required my attention. So, unfortunately, I paid it very little attention, and it really struggled. And for a period, I thought it might even die. However, eventually I found time to put into it, so I could feed it regularly and prune it and keep it free of bugs. And it came back. This is a little under half of the lemons I got off my lemon tree this year. Over time, and with the proper attention, my lemon tree got really strong and started to produce heaps of lemons. It's reached its full potential now. I feel like the process I went through with my tree is very reflective of transformational leadership. By valuing my lemon tree and guiding it, I was able to achieve my vision for a fruitful tree. I feel like the experience was rewarding for both parties. The tree is now happy, healthy, and strong, and I have more lemons than I know what to do with. I was able to discover what that tree needed to thrive, and I was able to provide it for the tree. And I got fantastic results in response. In the same way, leaders need to be able to assess situations and listen to their staff so they can provide them with what they need to thrive, which in turn will produce great results. So what are the roles and responsibilities of a leader in an early childhood educational setting? Gonzalez reports that the role and responsibility of early childhood leaders is to be the primary architect and supporter of the values and standards which ensure the centre functions effectively and adequately. While Rod describes the roles and responsibilities in more detail and includes the administrative functions of running daily operations and management of an early childhood centre, as well as building teamwork, including all stakeholders and working collaboratively. The pedagogical issues around children's growth, development, learning and curriculum. Embedding the early childhood centre as an important part of the community. The creation of new ideas, innovations and initiatives, as well as inspiring others, setting positive examples and being a strong role model. To advocate for the promotion and protection of children and family well-being. To create a service with a clear set of objectives and goals, as well as planning for change and improving efficacy and quality. Finally, I would like to discuss the importance of relationships for early childhood leaders. Building quality relationships with children, families, staff, and the broader community is important for an early childhood leader, as it helps provide an integrated service while maximising opportunities for children, as well as effectively dealing with any conflict that may arise. The development of strong, positive relationships is important as leaders shape the culture and structure of early childhood centres. Positive relationships within the culture of an early childhood educational setting directly improve educational outcomes for children and increases the dedication and the trust staff have of their leaders, their colleagues and their parents. In relation to my artefact, my lemon tree, I found I needed to be the primary architect in nurturing it and guiding it. I needed to build a positive relationship with my tree so the vision I had for it could be accomplished. In conclusion, leadership in early childhood learning centres requires a style which allows for intimacy and flexibility, while striving to guide others towards a shared vision. To achieve this, leaders need to be responsible for administrative, pedagogical, advocacy, and the creative functions of the early childhood centre, while instilling and building positive relationships with all stakeholders. My many lemons represent the result of nurturing, growth, and supportive relationships, which are required to produce fruitful outcomes. Thank you. I hope you enjoyed my presentation. I'm off to make some lemonade.